Lately, during my safari hunts at one of the local swap meets, I've been noticing some familiar robots. Bootleg Transformers, Super Sentai robots, and other giant mecha have been spotted, and they're coming from a company called Polyfect Toys. From my research, some of these robots have appeared as early as 2008. The first one that caught my eye originally was Firefighter, which is a bootleg version of the Transformer G1 Defensor. While I was debating on whether I should get him or not, the lady who was selling the robots came over and showed me her overstock. That's when she pulled out Dairugger XV. Dairugger 15, aka Armored Fleet Dairugger 15, aka Dairugger 15 with numbers, aka Armored Armada Dairugger 15, aka Armored Squadron Dairugger 15, or Machine Platoon Dairugger. This was an anime that aired in Japan from 1982 to 1983. In 1984, Dairugger 15 was picked up in the United States, and it was to be part of the Voltron trilogy as Vehicle Team Voltron, aka Vehicle Voltron, aka... Actually, there's only one aka for the US version. The show lasted until 1985, and proved to be unpopular in comparison to the Five-Lion Voltron. As I said before, I only saw the Matchbox Vehicle Voltron once a long time ago, and to my memory, he looked exactly like this one. With the only exception is his size. There are a few things that I remember from the Matchbox aka Poppy version of Dairugger 15. For one, the face ship would actually open up, at least that's how I remember it. Also, he was pretty much on roller skates the whole time. Let's take a look at the Polyfect Toys Dairugger 15. He comes in a large blister pack, and the box says his name perfectly, which is a little odd for a bootleg. The artwork on the front has some cool Dairugger 15 paintings, and on the bottom we get some obvious Transformers. On the back of the packaging, we get instructions on how to build Dairugger 15, and it's all in red. Yep, all these Polyfect robots have a yellow back with red photos and red writing, and it kinda hurts the eyes. Okay, let's check out Dairugger 15. He looks really nice out of the packaging, and he feels a little cheap, but not too much. He still feels solid. This is how I remember my cousin's friend's Vehicle Voltron looking. I like this thing. He's cool, and for the right price too. Let's take Dairugger apart. Okay, so he doesn't come apart completely. At least it would seem that I would break mine if I try to take it all the way apart. His spaceship doesn't have working doors, but not that anyone would display Dairugger 15 as the vehicles, but it would have been nice to be able to get him down to the nitty gritty. Once we put him back together, he's awesome. Well, kind of. Now that I've taken him apart once and put him back together, I noticed that he feels a little loose now. I actually regret taking him apart at all. His foot is so loose that I can feel like it's gonna fall right off. I don't really like that. What I do like is how he reminds me of the large and legit version of Dairugger 15. His poseability is pretty lame, but at least he can still get some cool nice poses down for display. His playability would be pretty weak. I mean, with the feel of the plastic and the fact that after one transformation he felt loose, I can totally see a bunch of Polyfect Dairugger 15s without arms or legs. I'm a collector and I don't plan on playing with Dairugger 15, so I do like this guy. I'm really glad I found him. I'm not really a Voltron collector, but I do appreciate the classics. I had the Matchbox 5-line Voltron, which I hope to piece together at some point. As a kid, I knew how special Voltron was, so it's nice to get a version of Dairugger 15 without setting my wallet on fire. As a display item, this thing gets 4 stars because it's nice looking and it can totally enhance your collectible shelf. As a toy, this thing gets 3 stars. As a display figure, it gets 4 stars, but as soon as those vehicles decide to go on their own, like I said earlier, I can guarantee that there will be feetless and armless Dairugger 15s out there.